What's up guys, it's me, Noah Galuten. Now, a little while back I did a video in which I showed you guys how to make salad dressing. It was super easy, it's pretty healthful, it's great on salad. But a lot of you guys complained that there wasn't any fat in there that you really wanted. You wanted a really unhealthy shit. You were like, this is bullshit salad dressing, I want ranch dressing and Caesar dressing. And I was like, f that, I'm not gonna show those bastards how to make ranch dressing. So today I'm gonna show you guys how to make ranch dressing and Caesar salad dressing. All right, first up we have ranch dressing. It's gonna be kind of like a hybrid between like a super fresh, like garden vegetable ranch, which is kind of pretty far from the version you're probably used to. So this one, you got your black pepper, garlic powder, garden variety Italian seasoning, onion powder, and Italian parsley. So to start out, you wanna get your buttermilk. That's this stuff. You're gonna pour it in. This is about 3/4 of a cup. We've got sour cream, which I like for some of the tanginess and the tartness along with the buttermilk. It also gives it some thickness to it. 1/4 cup of sour cream. This is one of those dressings that's literally just put all the shit in there and mix it up, and then it's probably gonna taste like ranch dressing. Because you're using dried herbs and some dried garlic and dried onion, the longer it sits, the better it'll taste. It'll sort of infuse and hydrate. And then we're gonna use a cup of mayonnaise. We're gonna just squeeze out a nice big fat cup of mayonnaise. This is T's favorite ingredient. It makes her so happy whenever I can just squeeze mayonnaise out of my hand. When you make this motion, mayonnaise comes out better, so make sure you do that. I'm gonna make T eat a bunch of mayonnaise later, it's gonna be awesome. All right, so now you want about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, but really you just kind of eyeball it. You can add more later if you want to. Sure, it looks good. I like pepper. And then a nice little pinch of your salt. This is parsley. You want flat leaf Italian parsley. So you want about a tablespoon or so. That gives a little bit of that fresh herbiness in there. And then for the rest of it, I'm using dried herbs. This is just like your garden variety Italian seasoning. You can buy it anywhere. You want a 1/4 teaspoon of this guy. Plop it in there. Garlic powder. Take a 1/4 teaspoon of that. Plop it in. Take your onion powder. It's a 1/4 teaspoon. That goes in too. Basically, we're ready to go. Now what you want to do is whisk it. Typically you want to use a slightly larger bowl than this. You whisk this all together, and when it's mixed, it should, fingers crossed, taste like ranch dressing. I don't know why it's called ranch dressing, probably because it was made by a ranch hand who stole the farmer's daughter and then was arrested for statutory rape. So don't do that, just make the dressing. It's way better. Tastes like ranch dressing. I'm gonna put a little more pepper in there. Yeah, again, this is gonna taste a little better once it all combines and the dried ingredients kind of bloom and open up in the liquid. And this isn't a super thick dressing. If you wanna make it thicker, you can add sour cream to it, more of it. You can also add dill if you wanna be crazy, chopped red bell pepper, whatever the hell you want. Again, cook it. Do whatever you wanna do. If it tastes like food at the end that you like eating, then congratulations, you made food. But here, really simple, quick ranch dressing. So now we're making a pretty classic Caesar salad dressing, basically the one that my mom made for me when I was a kid growing up. Now if you're saying out there, hey, I love Caesar dressing, I just don't like it with anchovies or egg yolks. Well, guess what? You don't like Caesar salad dressing. You like basically f***ing cheese sauce. So f*** you. Okay, so first things first, let's take a garlic clove. If you wanted to use like a food processor or a blender, you could. But the problem with that is it tends to make the egg yolks like super emulsified. So what ends up happening is you have like a really thick, almost like a dip, as opposed to a dressing. So you wanna just basically smash your garlic with the side of your knife, chop it up pretty fine because we're not blending anything. We're just gonna whisk the crap out of this stuff until it turns into salad dressing. A lot of restaurants will do this kind of fancy thing where they'll come and like make your Caesar salad tableside for you, which means it's a pretty easy dressing to make. We're chopping this up nice and fine. One raw, fresh garlic clove. Don't buy those like pre-peeled or the pre-chopped. When they get air into them, they really change flavor pretty fast. So those all taste weird and stupid. Put it right in your bowl. Now, we're taking out our dear sweet friend, Mr. Anchovy. Now, anchovies are awesome. They are super sustainable. They're really high in fatty acids and really low in mercury. So not only are they really good for the environment, they're also really good for you. And if you chop them up and put them in various dishes, most people don't even know what the hell's going on. They just know they like it and they don't know why. Fry it up with some broccolini, a little pasta. Gives it a nice kind of meaty flavor. Man, these things are great. And they're cheap as f*** too. So they're cheap, and they're good for you, and they're good for the environment. I say anchovies all the way. So we're taking about 8 fillets here, and again, you're just gonna chop the crap out of them. Nice and meaty and fishy and full of those good oils. These are just basically regular old anchovies packed in olive oil. And these fish, they're gonna have like little tiny bones in them, and you can eat those bones because they're tiny bones, and tiny bones don't really hurt you. So now you got your chopped up anchovies. Take these guys, throw them in there with the dressing. Now some people out there like to try to remove some of the fishy taste of anchovies by soaking them in milk or whatever. I'm not a big fan of that. I think why remove the fishy taste of fish? It's fish. The next thing we're gonna do is just take a very small amount of Worcestershire sauce, just a couple drops. Little Worcestershire, little garlic, little anchovies. Let's take some lemon juice. When you take your lemons, you wanna roll them first to get the juice loosened up. And we're looking for probably about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. It's gonna be usually about the juice of a lemon. But lemons really vary, so if you're not sure, it's about 2 tablespoons, something in that range. Make sure to catch the seeds. You don't want seeds in your dressing. All right, now I'm gonna take a 1/4 teaspoon of Dijon. Not very much. Some people use a lot more. I don't like it to be too mustardy personally. Just a little touch with the Worcestershire. And then I'm gonna take some cheese, roughly 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. But again, it doesn't matter too much. And then a lot of times when you make Caesar dressing, you're gonna end up grating some more over the top anyway. This just gives it a little bit of body, a little bit of saltiness. We'll throw a little bit of salt in there, just a pinch for now. A lot of these ingredients are already salty. Parmesan is salty, anchovies are salty, so don't worry about it too much. Some pepper you can go heavy on. I like a lot of black pepper in this. Don't worry about that too much, go crazy. And the next key component is egg yolks. You want just the yolk and not the white. Crack your egg, and then you open it up like this. And look at it, I just made a big fat mess, and it's still gonna work, watch. Big fat mess. You just keep basically transferring your egg yolk back and forth. And as you do that, the white kind of falls out of it. And you got a nice little yolk. Let's do it again. But here we go. Egg white. Move the yolk around. 2 egg yolks. Done. And then you're gonna add about a 1/2 cup of olive oil. But you wanna do this very slowly because you're making a dressing and you wanna really be able to let this thing emulsify. So I'm gonna pour my 1/2 cup now so I can pour it in later. So now you got all your ingredients in here and you're just mixing them all together. You're getting a nice base of your cheese, your anchovies, your garlic, pepper, Dijon, Worcestershire. Get it all nice and mixed. And then you're just gonna be adding basically a little bit of your olive oil at a time. A couple drops to start. Let it keep whisking and just let this thing really emulsify. Because oil likes to separate from everything else, so if you whisk it in slowly, you actually make a real full dressing. This is also how you get rotator cuff tendonitis, for those of you curious about how to do that. Just like that, you got Caesar dressing. Pretty freaking easy. Well, let's see how it tastes. Tastes like Caesar dressing. I might actually add a touch more Parmesan in there, just for yucks. It'll make it look whiter too. There you go. Well, there you have it, guys. Ranch dressing, Caesar dressing. These are the less healthful versions of the vinaigrettes I made for you last time, but they're still pretty darn good. Well, we did it. On this show so far, I've made you a total of 5 salad dressings, 2 salsas. These are all things that you should be making yourself at home and not buying at the store. But let us know in the comment section if you're really gonna actually make these things now, if you're gonna keep on buying them at the grocery store. Well, that's it for us today. I'm Noah Galuten. Subscribe to Tasted. And maybe I'm gonna go down a really dark place and just drown myself in salad dressing. It's gonna be bad.